Welcome to the Tim Black at Night Show. I'm your host, Tim Black. This show is brought to you by justinform.com, a social media website that does not steal your data, does not steal your privacy. An open format where anyone can join. All you got to do is sign up with a valid email address, and we'll do the rest. Go to justinform.com, register today, and tell them that Tim Black sent you. Also, this show is brought to you by timblacktv.com. That's me. Let's go, guys. Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. Truth. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black. Yeah. Hey, people, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Glad you can make it. What is going on, my people on Periscope, YouTube, Facebook? Glad you came through. So, guys, lots been happening since we last talked. It is a crazy news cycle, yes, indeed, and a lot of people have been hitting me up. I want to first give a little shout out while we go check our chat room. Let's see who's in the chat real quick. The chat is an important part of this show. So I want to give a shout out to Patricia Gardner. Give it up for Patricia. Patricia. And I want to give a shout out to Brian Swifty. What's up, Brian Swifty? Thank you both for contributing to the show, for sending me information. And, both of you have been around for a while, so thank you both for that. So who do we got in the wings? We've got Roseanne Martirama. Truth Can't Be Silenced. Thank you for moderating. Truth Can't Be Silenced. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. Ditsy Little G and Moonchild, Taj Marie, the whole crew. It looks like we got Facebook and we have YouTube in the house. I appreciate that. It takes a hard man to make a tender chicken. What's going on, guys? Oh, man. You guys have no idea what's going on with me, man. So anyway, let's jump to the stories, okay? Because I got a lot to cover, okay? And it's hot down here. Believe me, it's hot. This hat, I don't know if I'm going to make it with this hat. It's too much. It's too much, guys. It's too much. I'm trying to be a G for you, but I'm trying to tell you, this is too much, man. It's too much going on. It's too much happening. It really is. So, as many of you know, we've covered Amazon on this show kind of extensively. They've been under fire. Jeff Bezos, billionaire, richest man in the world, under fire because Amazon doesn't pay a whole lot of money to its employees. Well, that kind of changed today because Jeff Bezos decided he was going to pay all of his workers at least $15 an hour. So there's been a lot of comments about it, as you know. Bernie Sanders, Ro Khanna, both champion legislation that they wrote called the Stop Bezos Act, which was the Stop Bad Employers Zero Out Subsidies Act, which would stop these employers, these big corporations, the Walmarts, the Disneys, the McDonald's, and of course, the Amazons, who get big-time federal subsidies, basically resulting in them paying effectively no taxes, no federal taxes, and getting a lot of kickbacks. So they get the subsidies, but they're not paying their employees a livable wage. They could afford to pay more, obviously. Very profitable companies. So that's what the bill was about. And some are saying, hey, thank you, Bernie Sanders and Ro Khanna, for your legislation. And thank you also, Senator Elizabeth Warren, who was also holding their feet to the fire. Let's get to this. Let's go to where Bernie talks about the developments that occurred today with Jeff Bezos. Yeah, let's do that.
of employees, it could well be, and I think it will be, a shot heard. Is not only what Mr. Bezos today has done is not only enormously important for Amazon's hundreds of thousands of employees, it could well be, and I think it will be, a shot heard around the world. Mr. Bezos and Amazon are now leading the way, but there is absolutely now no reason why other profitable corporations like Walmart, like the fast food industry, like retail in general, and other employees, no reason now why they also should not be paying their employees at least $15 an hour.
All right. Give it up for that. I see no reason why they shouldn't either, Bernie. That's why I'm very happy that Bernie and Ro Khanna championed this legislation. I'm happy that Bernie kept the pressure on Jeff Bezos. I'm happy for the others who chimed in and also did their part to keep the focus on employees getting a little bit more money so that they can have a livable wage. Now, of course, the question, there's a lot of details of this that people have good questions about. One of those being, well, Tim, what does this mean to employees who already make $15 an hour? That everybody at Amazon makes less than $15 an hour. And the response is this: they're going to get a raise. So that's one thing. The other thing was, and I saw somebody in the comment section who said that contractors won't be getting a bonus, so they won't be getting $15 an hour. And according to my reports, that temporary workers will get $15 an hour. Contractors, I'm not certain. I don't know if it covers contractors, but the last time I contracted, I made more than the salaried employee. I just didn't have the benefits. So sometimes that's how things work out. But I'm not sure. It doesn't specify the difference between full-time, temporary, and contract. There's no mentioning of contract employees here. It's also important to know we're talking about a lot of people. We're talking about 250,000 employees that this will affect. We're also talking about another 100,000 seasonal employees who also benefit from this move made by Jeff Bezos. $15 an hour is nothing to sneeze at. It could be the difference for some people of being able to take a class. We know we don't have affordable education. There's so many things we're missing in our society that, frankly, some people think we shouldn't have. If you can't make enough money, you shouldn't be able to go to school. If you can't make enough money, you shouldn't be able to afford health care. That's just so what? It's your own. That's you. Tough titty, poor person. You know, that's what you get. So like I said earlier today, I'm going to say it again. I'm glad that this was done. I know that this is not everything. I know that there's more that needs to be done. I know that there are other corporations that need to do their part. So I'm under no delusion now. Oh, we did it. We did it. Game over. Let's all pop champagne, and make it rain. Nah, I'm not. I know this is not the end of it, right? Now, my friend Autumn, who sends me content, regularly, and she says, Tim, check this out. I agree with it. I want you to take a look at it and see if it's something you think should be talked about. It's an article on Zero Hedge. Now, I'm always critical of Zero Hedge because I find them to be very Trump-friendly, which a lot of media is very Trump-friendly on the internet. So I'm always kind of look at them like I'm trying to be sure if they're giving good information. So this one we're going to kind of go through together, but it does raise questions about this Bezos move. And I think there's nothing wrong with looking at this move and trying to be as analytical as possible. So in this case, I want to share this article with you. It says the Bezos decision to raise wages is largely a Machiavellian distraction. Machiavellian distraction. How so? Zero Hedge people. For the many low-wage Amazon workers, both full-time and temporary, set to receive a raise thanks to just announced boost in minimum pay to $15 an hour, the news is certainly a big plus. So they agree that it's good that you're going to raise wages. This is a big plus. Now go ahead and hit me with the sledgehammer, because I know you have something that's sort of like the devil's advocate in this. It says if you think a little beyond the surface level about why he's doing this now and what his real motives are, it becomes more clear. Nobody should take this at face value. Don't take this at face value. I could feel sort of like the wind being sucked out of the room. I see some smiles turning upside down. Let's go on. Because we can't be afraid of the truth, right? We want truth. We don't just want to feel good and then have nowhere to stay. I remember, real short story, I remember when I was in 7th grade, I visited my father's home, was in Southeast Washington, D.C., and there was a neighbor. I spent the whole summer there, and there was a neighbor, and his name was Kenny, and Kenny's people, I don't even know if it was the summer. What I remember, I think it had to be the winter. So I traveled back and forth, and I got to know Kenny very well. Anyway, Kenny's parents had a really big Christmas for Kenny and the whole family. They had a lot of gifts, a lot of stuff. I couldn't afford the stuff. He had a whole bunch of new Nikes, the whole thing. And that's even before Colin Kaepernick. I mean, it was Nike stuff everywhere, football clothes and stuff, the jerseys of the Redskins, everything. He got really big Christmas tree, all that stuff. All right? Come January, I don't know, 30th, all that stuff was on the street. Everything got put out. See, it's not good to live in fantasy land. They knew they didn't have that rent, and that rent wasn't just Christmas. They were probably months behind. I figured this out later. They were months behind on the rent. They had to be. And they said, you know what? We're going to enjoy this last Christmas in our apartment, and we're just going to ball out. That's what we're going to do. We don't want to think about the fact that we're going to be evicted. Because they didn't get evicted because of Christmas. They were going to get evicted anyway. See, you understand what I'm saying? So I disagree. I think you got to focus on problems and fix them or try to mitigate them. You don't win by ignoring them and having a big Christmas. Don't just have a big Christmas. So same thing goes here. We don't want to just be like, yay, Amazon. Yay, Amazon. And then, everybody on the street. So let me keep going. So let's just bounce around a little bit, because there's stuff here. I don't know what this is. A lot of stuff. I can't read all this. You might fall asleep. It says, okay, here goes 5 things. I'll try to make this quick. It says, it's nice to see Amazon workers get a raise today, and not just the regular hires, but the temps too. What led to this? 5 things. Now, the person who coined this 5 things is a Stacy Mitchell. I'm going to give Stacy Mitchell credit. You can find her on Twitter at Stacy F. Mitchell. Okay? Here goes her 5 things. First, it's a very tight labor market, and Amazon needs a bunch of people in its warehouses right now for the 4th quarter. 2, advocacy by Senator Sanders and Ro Khanna and groups like JW National and ILSR compelled Amazon to act. Amazon almost never responds to critics, but Sanders and Ro Khanna unnerved Amazon deeply. Cool. Yes, I feel good about that. I still feel good about that. Ro Khanna came on this show, Congressman Ro Khanna out of California, Silicon Valley. He's been on the show a couple of times before he came on the show to talk about this act. I put out a very good video. I think it's a good video. I put it out on Twitter. I put it out on Facebook. I put it out on YouTube. I put it out on Instagram. It's doing very well. So, yeah, we did our part in getting the word out and holding Amazon accountable. Next, Amazon is run by the world's richest man, net worth $160 billion. And his recent attempt to make the unconscionable disparity seem okay with a $2 billion charity pledge just didn't cut it. Bezos, right now, is the face of inequality. That's still true after today. So, yeah, I covered this, Mitchell. Name is Mitchell, Stacy Mitchell. I did cover this as well, where Bezos made a donation. It was supposed to mitigate homelessness in Seattle. And Seattle was where Amazon is based. They have a huge homeless problem. So he was donating money to that. And what Stacy's saying here is that too little, for the richest man in the country, in the world? Too little. Not enough. Had to do more. Okay. Next, Amazon has another way to cut labor costs: automation. It needs fewer workers today to sell and ship $100 million worth of stuff than it did just a few years ago. That trend is only accelerating. Some e-commerce warehouses in China have a staff of 4 people. They fix the robots. So what Stacey's saying here is that part of the reason why Jeff Bezos can do this is because he ain't going to have a lot of people working for him anyway. He's going to get all these people out of here. All they're going to need to do is maintain the robots, and those people maintaining the robots, they're going to be paid a lot more than $15 an hour, but those people are going to be engineers and probably not be people that live in your community. So, you know, that's how that's going to work. Thanks, Stacey. I feel good about that. But like I said, we want to know truth. We want to know the truth, Stacey. So thank you. Last point Stacey makes here is finally, and this is the big reason. Amazon fears an antitrust case to break it up. They're right to be nervous. In the last week, Senator Warren called for it. The EU's Ed Vestager opened an antitrust probe. A former Amazon exec said competition depends on splitting Amazon into 2. There it is. Some people have argued that part of the reason why Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and Google have been so accommodating to the liberal calls for censorship is because they want to avoid an antitrust suit as well. Just a little something to mull over while we finish up this segment. It's real. It's all real in the field. Now, it goes on to say that Bezos is naturally attempting to portray this as a come-to-Jesus moment. But you shouldn't buy his spin, not for a second. Based on what we know of his business practices, the guy's built this behemoth that is Amazon by operating in a Machiavellian fashion. The real tale here is Bezos' immediate emphasis on raising the national minimum wage to $15 an hour under the law. Pushing for a force across the board wage hike everyone knows Amazon can cope with better than current or potential competition. Makes his company look good while likely harming other business models in the process. So the long and short, and I think there might be some validity to it, Jeff Bezos can afford to pay more because it's Jeff Bezos. And Amazon is extremely profitable. One way to stomp out competition is to make it an industry norm for the competition to have to pay employees more, which would make a hardship for those employees or a hardship for those corporations that can't shoulder this increase. Now, this could be said for any industry, and people have used this argument for anything. Why come the fast food workers? Why can't they make more money? Because if they make more money, they're going to hire less fast food workers. Oh, okay. They say that all the time. If we have to give them more money, we just have to hire less people. See, the bottom line is that these folks, they have no intention of, they're not interested in getting into heaven. Half of them don't believe there is one. The other half don't give a damn. They've already decided they're going the other place. So they can care less about, I want to do right by people. It's not what they're there for. Neither are their stockholders, their shareholders. They're not there for that either. So if people can't be compelled to pay more because they have to pay more, or they should pay more because they can afford to, how else can you get them to do it? And if the only argument's always going to be, if they pay more, they're going to hire less people, and somebody's going to be able to pay more, they're going to pay more, then what? I think, with all due respect to the author of this article, who I'm not sure of, Mike Krieger and Liberty Blitzkrieg blog, all due respect, I think this is a risk we have to take. We have to somehow apply pressure to these corporations to get them to up the ante to pay their employees more money. Wages have been stagnant. Inflation has risen. People have to be able to feed their families. The gig jobs, they're not working. People can't raise a family off of Uber and Lyft. People need to take care of their families. And if we don't apply pressure and we keep electing politicians to do nothing but the bidding of these corporations, the only way to handle this is public shaming. Either that or public mobbing. I think we should go with shaming. All right, guys. So I tell you, man, it's one of those. It's tough. It's tough out here. It really is. It's really tough. Now, I think we'll go to this. I know we will. All right, let's go to this. I got a couple of things, and I'm trying to tell you guys, I'm really conflicted because I don't want to cover Kanye West, but I want to cover Kanye West. I don't want to cover him because I feel like he wins if I cover him. But if I don't cover him, we won't address these important issues. Because what's going on right now, man, I have a fundamental problem with the way people are using his laughable logic on the world. So we got to talk about it. I have no choice. I got to address it.
Done is not only what Mr. Bezos today has done is not only...
Okay. So, as we know, let's see. Kanye West made some comments. He made some comments right after SNL. He appeared on SNL. He was a guest last week. After the show, he kept on talking. Okay? He kept on talking. He did a famous Kanye West rant. Some people got clips that are released on the internet. I learned today that the rant was much longer, more extensive, and it received even less love than what we saw. That being said, it is the talk of the internet and the talk on many shows. Here goes a little bit of the rant. I think we got a little bit here. Well, that's actually Kanye right there, not that one. That's actually him. Kanye West. What is this? That's him. That's him again. I don't know if do we actually have, is anyone unfamiliar with what he said? Because I think I removed that stuff. I think I tried to make room and not include. Kanye West said some, you know what? Here goes the new clip. Here goes the new one, okay? Check this out, guys. And I mean this with respect, okay? To everybody out there, okay? Kanye West, he has a lot of criticism for the Democratic Party, which I agree with. And maybe we should put Kanye back up there. Here we go. Let's put him back on the screen. I'm sorry, guys. Let's put him back on the screen because that Donald Trump, men wronging Q's, E-Mega. Yeah, okay. Okay, so Kanye West, as you see him, he's in the MAGA hat, Make America Great Again hat. He has a lot of comments about the Democratic Party. Says it's a party that has hurt black folks. It means no good for black folks. And I don't know. Don't vote Democrat. Which is basically what you hear a lot of if you're on the internet. You hear a lot of people saying don't vote Democrat. I'm one of those people that say don't vote Democrat unless they offer you something for your vote. See, that's what makes me different. I'm also keenly aware that the Republicans are not offering anything for my vote. See, so for some reason, Kanye West thinks that Donald Trump is a political party. That's what he thinks. He must think that because he says the Democrats are horrible. He never mentions the Republican Party, and he just talks about Trump. And he never talks about starting a third party or getting behind the Libertarian Party or getting behind the Green Party. It's always just the Democrats suck. For some reason, that makes sense to people, for someone to give you no alternatives, have no solutions, and to just keep telling you that the Democrats are horrible. I don't see the point. People have been arguing with me. Some people I had to block because they think that, hey, well, he should just be able to say whatever he wants and not be challenged on it. They think he should be able to say, do whatever he wants to say and do then and everybody should just shut the hell up and let him just do him. Well, he can just do him. But what happens in this arena is you do stuff, you say stuff, you get on TV or you get in front of cameras and make political statements. People are allowed to respond to those political statements. Sort of how this works. And people who say, I want to run for president in 2024, especially those people that say they want to run for president in 2024, which was part of his rant. And still they say you shouldn't be able to criticize this mofo for the stuff he said. Okay. So I got a lot of problems with Kanye West. I think Kanye West is full of shit. I still think Kanye West would not be seen nor heard of if Kanye West, instead of criticizing black folks and saying slavery was a choice, if he would have said he thought the Jewish Holocaust was a choice, we wouldn't even know who the fuck Kanye West was. Y'all be like, Kanye, what happened to Kanye, yo? He be gone. There'd be no more Kanye if Kanye disrespected anybody else except black folks. If he'd have disrespected gay folks. If he'd have said the gays get treated badly, they deserve to be treated badly because they sleep with people of the same sex. No one taught them to do that. They should get out and stop sleeping with the same sex. That's what they should do. If he would have said that, if Kanye West would have said that, there'd be no more Kanye. He wouldn't been on SNL, I can tell you that shit. Tell me I'm wrong, Candace Owens. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Sean Hannity, tell me I'm wrong. Insert black conservative YouTube person with no real reason for getting views other than you got a picture of a flag. You're not funny. You're not intelligent. You are inarticulate. I don't know what it is. Oh, I know what it is. They love black guys who throw black people under the bus. And you love to do it. So there are a lot of things that piss me off about Kanye West, but even piss me off more are the people that support it. But all that being said, there's a clip I saw today and it bothered me. Hey, all that being said, I saw a clip today and it bothered me. I want to share this clip with you. Yeah, here we go. Where's the damn clip? Here it is.
I would love it, Kanye, if you would not wear that hat. It would make me and a lot of other people feel better. In fact, why don't we say, please take off the hat, Kanye? How's that?
It's not good.
And then I won't do it. Because you have a right to wear it.
Exactly. First Amendment, baby. First Amendment. First Amendment.
I have a right to express my view on it.
I am American, and I support and give my ideas and support and brilliance to whoever ends up in office. That's my stance as an American. I support our president. Bottom line, no matter who they are. As an American, I support our president. Now, I already told you what this represents for me. This represents y'all can't bully me. Because look at me. I was a child prodigy. Prodigies get bullied sometimes in their life by big bad.
All right, so let me come back on the screen now, because I would like to address this shit right here. I must address this. This must be called out for what it is. I want to do a point by point because I want to make sure that I address it fully. Because he made at least three. He made one comment that I agreed with, and the rest were as dumb as a bag of rocks that have been lit on fire, then buried, pissed on, buried, dug up, lit on fire again, pissed on again, buried, lit on. You get my point. It made no sense. Now, let's start from the top with this. Let's do it, Tim Black. Let's make this. Let me see here. Here we go. Let me move me over here. All right, so let's go, because I want to make sure we get all of this. Kanye West, talk to me, brother. I really want to hear this one more time. One more again.
chance, I would love it, Kanye, if you would not wear that hat. It would make me and a lot of other people feel better. And
Fuck that. Fuck that. All right? Seriously, guys. Fuck that. Kanye West, please wear your hat. Wear your damn hat so people know how damn stupid you are. You have every right to wear that hat. I have every right to wear this hat. You can't tell me to take off my hat. I'm not telling you to take off your hat. I agree. Keep your damn hat on. Somebody who thinks this hat is horrible would need to know, like to know, Tim Black don't have good fashion sense. Other people may think Tim Black's a good dresser. He's smooth with it. They should be able to form that opinion. As with you, Kanye West, you wearing that hat identifies that you, I don't know what part of Chicago, did he come from Chicago? This motherfucker from Chicago, who did he grow up around? Who was his friends? Who did he hang out with? Who, mofo? Who? Kanye West is not, he ain't all there. Something wrong with Kanye West. But go ahead and wear that hat. I would never tell you to take off your hat. Go and be as however ignorant, whatever, come up with crazy shit, do whatever, wear your stuff, all right? You're not inciting a violence, a riot, or you're not, what are you doing? You're just wearing a hat. Harvey's fucking wrong. Kanye should be able to wear that hat. It ain't about how I feel about the hat. He should be able to do what he wants to do. Anybody that's going to catch feelings and be like he didn't take off the hat, need to just stop buying his records. That's what you do. All right? Unsubscribe like you do me all the time. You know? That's what you do. That's what we should do to him. Okay. Now, let's keep going because he says more.
in fact, why don't we say, please take off the hat, Kanye? How's that?
What you mean, please take off the hat? I'm not begging this dude, asking him please to do something for me. That's stupid. Harvey, did you guys set this up? Was this a plan? This is a script that we're following here? Who the hell is begging Kanye to take off a hat? For what? So we can continue to like him? I don't much like him, with or without the hat. How about that? Let's keep going.
It's not good.
Then I won't do it. Because you have a right to wear it.
Exactly. First Amendment, baby. First Amendment. First Amendment.
I have a right to express my view on it.
I am American, and I support and give my ideas and support and brilliance to who.
Your ideas, support, and brilliance. Motherfucker, you make music. You don't cure cancer. You didn't invent flight. You make beats with a beat machine. This you, nigga. That's you. That's you. Other people should call you brilliant. You should not call you brilliant. That makes you an asshole. For some reason, there are people that think it's cool for some guy to call himself a brilliant person. You're very unbrilliant. Even a person who did find a cure for cancer, who did come up with a new way, I don't know, to travel to space, I doubt that they would have the arrogance and the lack of social graces at all to be like, I'm brilliant. I use my brilliance. To do what? Make overpriced clothes? Songs about sex with 20-year-olds and you're 40-something? Dude, that's not brilliance. I mean, brilliance is very subjective, okay? But I don't find this shit brilliant. I find this shit stupid. But we're going to keep going because he says even more asinine things.
Ever ends up in office. That's my stance as an American. I support our president. Bottom line, no matter who they are. That
I have a problem with. See, This is the reason why I wanted to do this. Because, and I know there's people like, well, we care. Because, well, first of all, I care about pop culture. I care about the consciousness of the people in the country, because that kind of dictates, like, media. It's important. These things are important. I know there's people going, well, what about this? Or what about that? Yeah, it's still going on. Yemen's horrible. It's horrible. They weren't covering that before Kanye started talking, though. They weren't going to cover it. All right? They weren't going to cover Venezuela. They're not going to cover Honduras. They ain't going to cover Michigan, Flint. They're not going to cover what's going on in Baltimore, Maryland. They're not going to cover anything of substance. So we can use that on everything. But I want to cover this because this is the guy that I had to listen to these bastards all in my timeline. Talk about Kanye's a free thinker. He's an independent thinker. Then he got up on here today and said, I support the president, whoever he is. Whoever he is. I don't care who he is. I mean, if you elect Hitler, I'm going to support him because he's the president. What happened to the independent thinking part? How is the independent thinker? Like, I want to know, Trump supporters, did you support Obama? He was the president, mofo. See, you only use this shit when you think it benefits you. You as horrible as Lindsey Graham. You're as despicable as Nancy Pelosi, all of you. In fact, they are you. They are of you. That's why they suck so bad, because they are of the people. We as a people suck. People suck. People are horrible. You use whatever you can use to benefit yourself. Free thinker, independent thinker. No, punk ass sellout, pussy ass. That's what this is. I don't want to hear no more about independent thinker. Independent thinkers don't support people because other people support them. The will of a country, the will of the electoral college does not dictate that a person must support something or someone or a political movement or a political party. That's the whole purpose, right? That you kept saying I wasn't getting, you weren't getting it. He's a free thinker, independent thinker. You can think like you want. Oh, so thinking like you want is to support other people because other people support them. That is dumb. That makes no sense. It's a contradiction. So kiss my ass and check yourself, you hypocrites. Kanye West don't speak for anybody but Kanye West. You keep that in mind. And all my white viewers, don't you go thinking that this guy speaks for black people. He does not. This guy, I ain't never had friends like this. There's a lot of black guys, a lot of black women in the hood who not really black. They look black. They from Barbados or something. I don't know where they from. They look black. They have no kinship with black people. They have no connection to black issues. That's why they say shit like this. That's why you can have a Kanye West who says, I love Donald Trump, I support Donald Trump, and then the Democrats have been horrible to black people, and then go support a person whose attorney general has ramped up the criminal justice machine eating black people, who has has rolled back the idea of tamping down on mass incarceration. Like, how do you do both things? How do you say you support prison reform and you support a president who has done everything to undermine that in the brief 2 years that he's been in office? All because he gave that one person clemency? That means something. Meanwhile, he's going against what he ran on with marijuana. He's doing civil asset forfeitures out the ass. Social safety net going away, cutting benefits to poor black people, and this guy gets to say, I support. So I'm just telling you, damn it. And to my liberal friends who pretend to be so cool and so non-bigoted and so open-minded and all for equality, I see through you too. All right? You know who you are. Now, Nina Turner is a friend of mine, and Nina Turner articulated my sentiments exactly, because what we've been hearing a lot of is, oh my God, Donald Trump's done so much for the blacks. He's a big-time black supporter. He just loves the blacks. Look what he did for the blacks. Blacks never had it so good. What's wrong with the blacks? Why aren't the blacks happy? Well, Nina Turner was on CNN with Don Lemon, Van Jones, and some other people that I don't know, and she said something that truly stuck with me. Made a lot of sense.
That are unleashing entrepreneurialism, that are unleashing prosperity. It's because of the policies of Donald Trump that are unleashing entrepreneurialism, that are unleashing prosperity and optimism in the land with consumer confidence at 18 years.
The challenges in the African American community are systemic. It is not just about one president. It is systemic in this country. There was a study that showed that there would take 228 years for the average African American to catch up with the average wealth of the average white American. So we're talking about systems that are bigger than one president, and that's also bigger than Kanye West. And the point about the unemployment rate, yeah, there's no doubt that the unemployment rate is lower. But when you look at the quality of jobs, and I have traveled to almost 40 states in this country, talking to people from all walks of life, and guess what? They're still suffering, and African Americans are still suffering especially. So this one president hasn't changed anything, because it's going to take America to have some real truth and reconciliation. And that cannot just be laid at the feet of the Democrats. Although I do agree with Kanye in that the Democratic Party in some ways have definitely taken the African American community for granted. But make no mistake, the Republican Party is not the Republican Party of Lincoln. It is not the radical Republicans of yesterday. Make no mistake. So don't even try to hold on to that. Let's be honest about what's going on in this country.
Van Jones.
All right, see? All right. I just want to chime in here and say one of the problems that we have is that most people don't understand how bad off the black community is as a whole. They look at people like LeBron James, dare I say Kanye West, and for some reason those images are locked in their heads. I'm not saying that black people don't do it too. Sometimes we look at Brett Kavanaugh and we see the majority of white folks when nothing could be further from the truth. But what my white friends need to understand is the basic fundamental truth of the matter is a white high school dropout makes more money on average than a black college graduate. This is reality. There's no way to clean that up, dress it up, make it nice. Just having a black-sounding name greatly reduces your chances of getting a job. Then you still got to show up, even if your name is Tim. They get to see you. So there's a... I don't know how to make it clearer. I don't know. I mean, what kind of clearer cell do you need to see this shit? This is reality. That's why when people like Kanye West make these asinine, hypocritical ass statements about how they personally feel, it's not rooted in anything real. It's not rooted in anything tangible. It's not rooted in any facts, any data. And we got these assholes like the Turning Point USA, a bunch of bigots, cornballs, and people looking to come up who make up stuff. Well, this is the country that we're dealing with. This is the system that we're dealing with. America has never addressed it. They have never addressed the wealth gap. They have never addressed the lack of equality for generations within the black community, within black families. Forget communities, black families. And then they say, well, why aren't you doing better? Why are people shooting? What's wrong with you? They have never addressed the fact we didn't get the GI Bill. They never addressed the fact we didn't get our 40 acres in the mule. They've never addressed the fact we got convict leasing. They never addressed it. And people don't care. And even now, even with my liberal friends, they have no intention of doing anything to fix it. And this is why I do understand the frustration, the anger, and resentment people feel towards Democrats. But why don't you feel that way also towards Republicans? They're both two wings of the same bird, man. The same people own them both. Why aren't you upset with? I'm upset with both of them. I'm upset with both parties. I'm not upset with every single human being. We don't have that kind of power, bruh. Hell, I know some good white folks. Some good white folks who I've known for years. If it was up to us, we'd straighten this shit out. But we don't have the power to fix it. The Republican Party and the Democratic Party are one and the same. Slight differences. One robs me, says they're going to rob me. They rob me, and then they rob me and they walk away. The other says they're my friend, and they rob me anyway. And then after they rob me, when I say, hey, you robbed me, they say, no, I didn't. Look out. That guy over there is going to try to rob you. They're both bad. At the end of the day, you're still robbed. You're still robbed. You know, folks, many a day I've sat back and I looked at my conservative friends, and I see these guys. They started putting out content like maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, right around the same time Trump got elected. They haven't done, you know, they do shows. You know, they do shows like I do show. They do content. They don't do it as often. They don't do 2 shows a day. 2 full-length shows a day, plus cut videos and put out content on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and Twitter. They don't do all that stuff. But they'll do a YouTube show. They do a YouTube show. And I've seen these conservative black guys go from 30,000 to 50,000, from 50,000 to 80,000. From 80,000 to 150,000. From 150,000 to 200,000. I said, damn, how'd they do that? How'd they do it? I look around and say, wow, I'm the most formidable black guy on the left. Why? Don't I get the same support that the black conservatives get? What am I doing wrong from the black conservatives? I mean, they don't interview Republican chairs, former chairs of the Republican Party or the GOP. I did. They haven't done. They didn't interview Gary Johnson or Jill Stein. I interviewed Jill Stein so much it was like I was the Green News Network. I interviewed Jill Stein and the Jabba Baraka so much I thought I was the Green News Network. Their network. But these conservative dudes hadn't done any of that. They hadn't interviewed libertarians. It's like, what am I doing wrong? I look at them, I say, damn, they haven't been on tour to Portland and open shows with notable figures who have their own shows on TV. They haven't been to Portland, Oregon, and Salt Lake City, Utah, and Columbus, Ohio, and performed on stage, rocked a mic, D.C., Baltimore, Richmond, Virginia, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I don't know. Did they go to Chicago, attend events, interview Tim Canova or notable candidates in big pivotal races? No, they haven't. They haven't done any of it. And it's not like they're not black. They're black guys. So what is it? And then it dawned on me. It dawned on me, folks. It dawned on me that some things that they say about the left are kind of true. I mean, I think I'm pretty decent at what I do. I look at some of these guys, they only been doing it a couple years. I mean, I had to learn something over 6 years. What is it different? And don't tell me they support Trump. That's the difference. Nah. It ain't just that they support Trump. I think there's a difference in the way the left and the right treat black folks. No, I know I'm not going to say it's not self-serving. I think the right likes to see black folks. They embrace them. I mean, come on, look at the Trump girls. The Stump for Trump girls. They embrace that because they like that. It makes them feel less racist. The left thinks they're not racist, so they don't embrace black people. They just expect black people to just tote the line. And the right don't expect shit, but when they see a black person toting the line, they go, let's support them. All I'm saying at the end of the day, I see problems on the left. I usually don't talk about it. I've been asked to talk about it, and I've turned it down. I felt it would be too divisive. But hell, it's 2018. We still got 2019 and 2020 to go. We got a couple more years to get some candidates in office. We got time. Now's the time. I'm wondering. Oh, I'm wondering, guys. Are we what we claim to be? I'm wondering. I look around. I see who's excelling. I see who's not. Then I look across and I see who's excelling and I see who's not. I've done soul searching on this. The left has a problem with race. One of the biggest problems we have with race is we don't think we have a problem with race. And that's a problem. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate you tuning into this show. I appreciate your support. Just know that every brother ain't a brother. Every enemy is not an enemy. There's truth. And then there's something else. We all strive to find truth. You can be mean, but always be meaningful. That's what I intend to do on this show. We speak truth to power, even if it's inconvenient. Kanye West is not a leader of any community. He's a leader of himself. But these conversations need to be had because they are important. If you plan on having a movement that changes anything in this country, we have to deal with these issues. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Coffee with Tim Black will be here, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you. Take it away, Nina.
It's because of the policies of Donald Trump that are unleashing entrepreneurialism, that are unleashing prosperity and optimism in the land with consumer confidence at 18 years.
The challenges in the African-American community are systemic. Yeah. It is not just about one president. It is systemic in this country. There was a study that showed that there would take 228 years for the average African-American to catch up with the average wealth of the average white American. So we're talking about systems that are bigger than one president, and that's also bigger than Kanye West. And the point about the unemployment rate, yeah, there's no doubt that the unemployment rate is lower. But when you look at the quality of jobs, and I have traveled to almost 40 states in this country, talking to people from all walks of life, and guess what? They're still suffering, and African Americans are still suffering especially. So this one president hasn't changed anything, because it's going to take America to have some real truth and reconciliation. And that cannot just be laid at the feet of the Democrats. Although I do agree with Kanye in that the Democratic Party in some ways have definitely taken the African-American community for granted. But make no mistake, the Republican Party is not the Republican Party of Lincoln. It is not the radical Republicans of yesterday. Make no mistake. So don't even try to hold on to that. Let's be honest about what's going on in this country.